Today we will show you how to assemble our 1200 pound vertical cable PWC lift. Before getting started, make sure you have all the required tools listed in the assembly manual. Using your utility knife, cut the strap to free the lift component. Make sure you have enough space to work and that you are set up on a flat surface. You can roughly place the parts where they will be assembled. Begin by removing the nuts, bolts, and washer from both corners on one side of the lift. Next, insert the aluminum tubes. Make sure the holes are properly aligned. Tighten the bolts firmly using your impact driver and your wrench. On the opposite side, remove the nuts and bolts before inserting the tubes. This will help you align everything properly. Once the tubes are in place, insert the bolts into the hole and tighten them firmly, just like on the other side. That's it, the base of your lift is now assembled. Feel free to refer to the assembly manual from time to time to make sure you are following the steps correctly. With the help of another person, place the lift cradle into the frame, making sure the pulleys is located in the winch corner facing upward. You can now unroll the cables along the aluminum tubing. We are now at the step where we secure the cable to the structure. Start at the winch corner, where two cables ring must be installed at the bottom of the structure. Make sure to insert the bolt through the center of the rings and tighten everything firmly using the washer and nuts. Repeat these steps for the single cable ring on the other side of the lift. You can now install the other end of these cables at the top of the lift structure. To help remove the nuts at the end of the cable, use the wrench along with an impact driver. Next, insert the threaded rod at the end of the cable into the hole in the upper tubing of the structure. Reinstall the washer, the first nut, then the lock washer, followed by the second nut. Adjustment will be required later, but not at this stage. Repeat these steps for all cables. You can now unroll the winch cable using your utility knife. Pass the end of the cable through the pulley of the lift cradle. Lock the winch using locking pliers. This will prevent movement and allow you to properly tighten the cable. Next, insert the bolt, the small curved piece, and the nut into the winch drum, which will act as the cable clamp. Then pass the cable through the hole in the drum to secure it inside the clamp. Tighten everything firmly, making sure the cable is properly seated and securely clamped. Now let's move on to the lift wheel. Press firmly with your hand at the center of the wheel to thread it into the winch shaft. Turn it until you hear 3 clicks. Since the winch is still locked with the pliers, it cannot rotate. After the 3 clicks, secure the wheel using the bolt, washer, spacer, and spring. Tighten everything into the center of the wheel. Do not fully tighten the nut, just snug it. Then remove the locking pliers and wind the cable into the winch. You can now wind the cable into the winch, making sure that it is properly aligned so everything remains solid. Lift the cradle approximately 2 feet to verify that it rises evenly at each corner. Use a measuring tape to confirm that the distance is the same. This is when cable adjustments are made. If you notice any slack, slightly tighten the nut at the top of the structure. The cables do not need to be overly tight. Test the lift to ensure the cradle raises and lowers smoothly. We are now ready to install the bunks. Separate the bracket using your impact driver or a wrench. Using the U-bolts, install the brackets into the lift cradle. The spacing between them depends on your personal watercraft. If you have your trailer, you can measure the distance between the bunks on it and replicate the same spacing on your lift. Once all 4 brackets are positioned correctly and evenly spaced, tighten all nuts firmly. Place the bunks on top of the bracket. Center them within the lift by measuring the distance at the front and rear of the bunks. To finish, fasten the bunks using the lag screw. There are 4 screws per bunks, 2 at the front and 2 at the rear. And that's it. Your 1200 PWC lift is now ready to be installed in the water. Have a great season.